Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. How are you all doing? My name is Amanda Ellis, and a very warm welcome to this channel. Recording this on the 30th of July, 2024. I'm just back from the most beautiful holiday in Crete, and it was just amazing. I'll say more on it another day because there's quite a lot to get through on this video. What it is going to be is a look at the timelines at play right now. We're going to be focusing on the energy of Kamala Harris, also referencing Donald Trump, of course, too. I also would like to revisit what I said in 2020 before the last USA presidential election, where I did say that I saw Kamala becoming president, and I actually felt that it would be that Biden didn't serve the full term and would have to step down. Now, I know he has stepped down, but my understanding is he is still president. But I feel as though there's still loose ends here with regards to that previous timeline. And we've still got a few months before November. We've certainly got a few months before January's inauguration of the new president. It is still possible that she literally takes over the full reins of presidency, either before the election or before inauguration. That doesn't have to occur. We might have curveballed away from that. But effectively, what I'd like to look at in this video is who wins the 2024 US election. Will it be Kamala? Will it be Donald Trump? Could it be somebody else entirely? I know some people are saying neither Trump or Biden would be the winner. So does something happen to Trump before November or not? I certainly feel as though his VP pick may very well be changed. I'm not actually going to read on JD Vance, whatever he's called, in this reading, because I actually feel he could be temporary. But if he is still there in maybe another month or so, I will accord him the respect and do a full reading, but I have a feeling he might be changed. If he is changed, I feel as though Trump might pick a woman as well to take on the female vote effectively, that Kamala might be able to harness for her own advantage. Anyhow, before we go on, before we even say anything, I would just like to say and remind us, and this is really for people that are new to my channel, not for people that know who I am and have followed me a long time, although sometimes a refresher in heightened times is important, that this is a spiritual channel. This is a spiritual community, and we do try and walk the talk here. We try to see the highest potential and the light in every single person, every single thing that I read on. So there is zero tolerance on hatred on this page. And if I see it, the comments will just purely be deleted. So please let's not do that. We are a spiritual community. I'm trying to teach us and myself how to walk the talk, and that includes our speech and our written words. At the end of the day, our words, whether they be spoken, whether they be something that we write on social media, are things that can manifest. And when we put out a lot of negativity and hatred, it absolutely amplifies that energy in our world, and there is enough of that at the moment. The other thing to say is that when I read on politics, whoever I might say I feel at any one point in time may win, whether it's a USA election, whether it's a UK election, whether it's South Africa, is not a personal endorsement in terms of the fact that I would be voting for them also. I am just purely trying to read the energy, and that's really what it's all about. Also a reminder before we get into this subject that we are on a dualistic planet, and as such we need characters in duality that are both light and dark and a mixture of both within themselves. You can't come to a planet of duality without all players being here. So again, from a soul perspective, it's important to remember that when we look at anybody and also ourselves. I've also written that I wanted just to remind us that I feel as though we need, as a human species, not just in the USA, but across the world, to be letting go of this cult of personality, letting go of the cult of any particular person, whether that be political, whether that be social, whatever it is. I saw one video, I think it was on the day that Joe Biden dropped out of the race effectively. It was a young guy on TikTok, and I don't follow this guy. In fact, I'm not even on TikTok. It was on X. But it came to my attention for a reason, I think. Some of you might have seen it. It was a young guy in USA, and he obviously was a Democrat, and he was hysterical in his car that Joe had dropped out of the race. And he was banging his head on the steering wheel, wailing like a banshee. And my heart went out to him because I thought, anybody that is that invested, to be frank, in any politician, maybe needs their head testing, actually. I mean, maybe there was a mental illness aspect as well, but John, my husband, who's very grounded, I was talking to him about it. He said, he's just doing it for attention. John's not on social media. Maybe John was right. But the point is that we can lose ourselves. We lose each other when we forget that we may have a political opinion. We may have a spiritual belief, but it doesn't have to be the only thing that defines us. And certainly with regards to unity consciousness, we need to get to a place where we can sit beside people, for example, if you're in USA, who have voted differently from you and still love and respect them. And this seems to have gone out of the window and be a very unpopular thing to say, but it is really important to say it. The analogy that Metatron gave me before we get into the specifics about the two people to be discussed was with regards to an election campaign and, the months we've got leading up to USA in November, is he showed me a motor race, like a Grand Prix type of race. And if you've watched motor racing, that there will be points in the race where one car goes in front, and then something might happen to that car. They might spin off, and crash into the barrier. Doesn't mean they've died, just have they spin off, or they have a problem with one of their tyres and they have to go into the pit stop and be refueled and restocked and the car checked over, and they lose momentum. And then the person that was behind is able to come to the front. And this is why it's very difficult when you're watching readers who are talking about timelines. Anybody that is definitively saying right now, it's definitely Biden. Well, it isn't definitely Biden, but it's definitely, who is it now? Definitely Trump, or it's definitely Harris. We just need to be taking that with a pinch of salt, because I'm being shown the motor race and it's like it's all up for grabs. I genuinely believe, despite the fact that I have seen and I do still feel Kamala as a future president, I do still feel it's up for grabs. And that's not sitting on the fence. It's just about understanding timelines, dynamics, energy, and more than anything, wild cards. We are in Pluto in Aquarius energy. Anything can happen, and maybe everything will, okay? So nothing is off the table. And as I have taught a lot, please, 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 whatever your political allegiance, try to be a swimmer that is able to flow through different scenarios, different events, different parts of the race where your favourite might be taking the lead or your favourite might be lagging behind. But realising that in a race, you need a winner, you also need somebody that comes second place and does not win. That is democracy. The The other thing I wanted to just reference is the fact that because so many countries around the world in this year have got general elections, I really feel it's an opportunity for the human race to start to learn from different countries in terms of what happened there, what didn't happen there. I know something's happening in Venezuela at the moment. I'm sorry, I've been back home less than 24 hours. I haven't had time to look at it, but that might be a subject or a country that I read on soon, sending my light to Venezuela and the problems that you've got there post the election you've just had. But I will say, as an example of learning from other countries, learning from how other people react, we have just had a general election here in the UK, and I did a whole video on that before it and after it, particularly the one that I did post the election result with Keir Starmer winning is very watchable if you haven't watched it before. There's a lot to learn from that, because I felt, very defeated and deflated and depressed straight after his victory, for reasons which are personal to me. But I have to say, a few weeks in, and you might well disagree with me, that's democracy, I'm actually starting to quite like the guy. You know, he's taken me by surprise. Did you see that brilliant photograph of him at the start of the Paris Olympic ceremony? And yeah, I'll talk about that another day. But, it was pouring with rain. All of the dignitaries were there in their waterproof ponchos, looking, like you look in a waterproof poncho with the hoods up. Keir is there like a true Brit, used to the rain, no poncho for him, getting drenched, but actually still looking pretty statesmanlike. I loved that. I thought it was great. And actually, I've liked some of the stuff he's done since he's been in power. I also haven't liked some of the stuff, but that's the point I'm trying to make. It's like, it might not be as bad as you think it's going to be, whoever wins, okay? From a spiritual perspective, from a soul perspective, there is light in everybody. And ultimately, most want to try to make the world a better place. Yes, I can hear all the comments coming straight in saying, you don't know what you're talking about, Amanda. They're all WEF appointees. It's all a farce. If that is your view, why are you even watching me? Because if you truly believe that, why are you watching political videos trying to get a grip on who's going to win? You're wasting your time, okay? So, yeah, I've come back fiery from this holiday, and I'm going to say what I want to say. In 2020, I got slaughtered for what I said online with regards to Kamala Harris being a future president. And over the years, I've nearly taken that video down. I've never taken any videos down apart from Maddie when I got threatened, but that's been reinstated. But I just thought, oh God, maybe I was just completely wrong, because I remembered everything I said about her being this lotus flower, and lotuses have to come out of the mud. You can't get a lotus flower unless it's come through the grotty mud. But I feel as though it was an accurate future prediction. What we're going to do now is have a look again at her and also at Trump. So, shall we get to it? Let us do that. Where to start? Actually, I'd like to say something that I didn't say in 2020. This could be a short. I'll try and make it pertinent and to the point and in 60 seconds. Highly unlikely. What did I not say in 2020 in that video? What I actually felt in 2020 was that if Trump had won, and again, this isn't about I wanted him to win or I didn't want him to win, I felt that a Trump win would have led to civil war. I really genuinely felt that at the time. Now, it may very well be that energy of civil war, but civil war isn't like literally everybody taking up arms and fighting each other in the streets. It's more, I think, about states separating off from each other, which I think is still realistic and could happen in the future. But have we just dodged that timeline of civil war, or have we just kicked the ball a little bit further down the road. I don't know, to be perfectly honest. But I did strongly feel that in 2020. And there have been other elections in the world where somebody has got into power. And even though I haven't particularly maybe liked them or agreed with their policies, there's been a physical reaction within my body where I've known that it was what was meant to be. Energetically, okay? Energetically. And what I mean by that is that we were on track with whatever we were meant to be experiencing. And however you've experienced that, whether you believe the last election was stolen, for example, maybe you had to experience what that felt like. I'm not saying that is what I feel. Or if you've actually loved the whole Joe Biden presidency, maybe you needed to live through that, or maybe you've been appalled by it. We got whatever we were meant to get from the last 4 years. And it's led us to this point in time today. So I'd also just like to address and go back to just a couple of very important things, I think, which I did say in 2020, but I'm going to say again now. I looked at her numerology. Do you remember I looked at her numerology? Now, Kamala Harris is born 20th of October 1964, makes her a Libran with an Aries moon and a Gemini rising. Pretty powerful astrology. I'll leave it to the astrologers to talk about that. It's not my bag, but, I can just see that that's a powerful chart. I'd like to talk about the numerology, though, because I do know a lot more about that, colour numerology. This number 20, if you've been following a lot of the work that I've done over the last few months, this number 20 energy keeps coming out with regards to either very important things that happen on a 20-day, or people have got 20 somehow in their numerological chart. It was coming up in the Knights of the King table and King Arthur work that I was doing. That's where it first emerged. And I was like, what is going on with this number 20? Well, here again, she's born on the 20th. I believe Biden is also a 20. He's got a 20 energy somewhere as well. But anyway, Kamala Harris, 20th of October, 1964. She works out at a number 23 in terms of her numerology. I'm a 23, so I know about 23. 23 is linked into the court of King David. So it goes back there's a long lineage with people who are number 23s. It's linked into, the court of King David. It's a biblical type lineage. The colour that links to it is royal blue. Tends to be people that have come back for a specific purpose, for a specific reason, to share their gifts with humanity. Whatever those gifts are, whatever those talents are, or whatever the mission is, it may very well be that other people haven't put their hand up and said, I will go down to earth and do that. 23s tend to put their hand up and say, okay, no one else is putting their hand up, I'll do it. So it's definitely an old soul energy, somebody with many different past incarnations coming back to be of service, public service to humanity. That's the 23 energy, and that's what she's got. The fact she's born on the 20th, 20 is a number linked into awakening. It's linked into, colour-wise, it's magenta and it's brown, like a deep, rich brown of Mother Earth. And it's interesting that she's got this nickname, Momola, Kamala Momola. So, that whole thing about Mama Bear, but Mother Earth as well. What else do I want to say about her numerology? Pretty much, so the colours of 20, so magenta and brown. So brown is the earth, magenta is the bridge to the new. She's a bridge to the new. Now, what does that mean? I think it's less to do with her policies. It's more to do with what she represents. She is similar to, now don't shoot me down for this, somebody like Rishi Sunak in the UK, who might not have been the most popular prime minister we had, but he was the first British Hindu prime minister we have ever had. And actually the sights of lit up Diwali candles on the pavement outside Downing Street was very beautiful. He brought something to that role. He was, and it still is, I believe, a strict vegetarian. He fasts. So we had a prime minister who was fasting for a couple of days a week and, very disciplined. And yeah, the Hindu energy coming through. She has got, I believe she is a Christian, but she's married to a Jewish husband. She had a Jamaican father and her maternal family are Indian. So Hindu culture as well there. Her name, Kamala, means, so I'm looking down at my notes, means lotus in Sanskrit. And it's also, which is also another name for Lakshmi, or it's linked to Lakshmi. So yeah, there's a mix in terms of cultures and heritage. There's also a mixture of faith. And I feel that's part of the bridge, actually, the new bridge, rather than the whole left-right political thing, which I've, as I've said for a long time, is sort of like a dead old diseased bird. But I think it's this mix that she has, which is in, and of course she's female. I mean, that's almost like an afterthought for me, because we've had 3 female prime ministers in this country, at least 3. We had more. Margaret Thatcher, Theresa May, Liz Truss. I think those were the ones. I usually forget Theresa. We've had at least 3, female prime ministers, and we've obviously had a queen that ruled for 70 years. So as a Brit, I'm sitting here and it's like the female thing isn't the first thing that strikes me. But of course, for America, it is a big deal. It will be the first female president. That is a bridge to something. Of course it is. So yeah, interesting stuff. Anything else I want to say? People talk about her giggle, don't they? Her laugh, usually not very positively. Now, when I was abroad, I kept seeing this card. It's from a deck that I don't use very often. And actually, funnily enough, this card, whenever I've used this deck, has always triggered the hell out of me. I have to be honest. And hopefully, if you know me, I like a laugh. But I don't know whether it's just the way it's painted, or I've never particularly liked it. It's really wound me up the wrong way. And I'm looking at it again now and I'm thinking, what is that? Why are you wound up by laughter? But I'm tuning into what people are being wound up by her laugh and her giggle. I know Trump's already called it out. Maybe the world needs her giggle, Maybe the world needs her giggle. Maybe we all need to lighten up a bit, actually. That politics, yes, is important. That the people representing us, yes, are important. But I keep wanting to go back to what JFK said. It's not what your country can do for you. It's what you can do for your country. Let's roll back to that guy banging his head against the steering wheel. Poor guy, just having a complete breakdown because his hero has stepped down. I would never be that unbalanced, to be perfectly honest, that whoever was leading my country, I would be behaving like that in a car, and I certainly wouldn't be putting on social media. We do need to lighten up. These are serious times, yes, but okay, what Metatron's saying is, at the end of the day, the president or the prime minister is just one aspect of government. One aspect. Are they important? Yes, they are. But they're not the only aspect. There are many people that make up government, including the people. Look at what's happened in Venezuela. The government has to listen to the people. And when the government forgets that, of course, the government will be taken down. So please let us stop seeing these great almighty people, whether it's Biden, Harris, whoever it is, Trump included, on some sort of pedestal that's going to sort all the world out for us. And they're not. They're not. It's you that sort it out. It's you by, getting active, basically, local activism, standing up for things that your vote is important. I'm not saying it's not, but it's also important that you are active locally, that you make your voice heard. There have been plenty of times over the years where I've written to my local MP about something, made my voice known. That's the way that we bring change, okay? That's the way that we bring change. Okay, we're going to do some cards. I've written down here as well, back to this female vote thing. A woman in power should be there because she is the best person for the job, not because she is a woman. So to vote for somebody just because they're female, because you are a woman, I personally can't understand. That's my opinion, and I'm allowed to have it. I think I'm also saying that on behalf of a lot of other women as well. I also just wanted to address a few other things that I know are going to come up in the comments before I even get to the cards. I've heard a lot of people talking about the fact she slept her way to the top. I think that's a really unfair thing to say. I believe the man that she was with for over a decade, wasn't she? One night stands that get you to a place in the world quickly or promote you don't last a decade, okay? That was a relationship that she had. And again, the hypocrisy of calling out sexual history with regards to a woman rather than a man. Let's face it, all of the male candidates have a history which maybe isn't particularly fragrant, but I don't see any of that being called out. So I think that's very unfair. So I'm just going to knock that one on the head. The fact that she's not a USA citizen, untrue. And also, I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to do it. Meghan Markle endorsing her, kiss of death. Just don't go there, Kamala. Don't go there. Right, let's do some cards, guys. Let's do some cards. I'm going to start with Kamala, and I'm going to use Kuan Yin. Okay, so Kuan Yin, goddess of mercy and compassion. Kuan Yin is often shown standing on a lotus flower. So if I was advising Kamala, I would be saying to her, harness the energy of Kuan Yin. Now, she might already, because Kuan Yin is also about mercy and compassion. So Kamala's legal background and training will have already probably dipped into this energy. It might not have manifested yet, but it's definitely one there for her to use. And also, if she is able to claim the top spot and rise through the mud and become the lotus she's meant to be, which is just potential, doesn't mean you're going to do it, it's potential, then this energy can also be spread via her. So let's bring in the energy of Kuan Yin. Let's pull some cards for Kamala Harris. So let's start off with this Kuan Yin deck. What is there to say about Kamala, please? I'm hearing destiny. I am hearing destiny, but let's just see what we get. We have this card, and what it says on the back is immortal treasures. Within you are precious immortal treasures, gifts of your soul, which includes the ability that you have to transmit healing. Honor yourself as a healer, whether formally or informally. Your soul brings a special healing light to humanity. You have divine support in your role as a healer, in whatever way, usual or highly unusual, that this is unfolding for you now. Well, I think we would say that most people wouldn't regard a politician as a healer, so it's a highly unusual way for it to come in. But why should it not? Okay, why should it not? Now, straight away, Metatron is saying what people do is they block healing. This is what happens in healing generally. But just park your reservations for 1 minute, if you may, and imagine that she can be a healer. And she can, if elected, become the lotus that is able to do that. You can block it from day one and receive nothing. Or you can open yourself up to the potentiality that even though you don't understand this because it's a new bridge and it's not formed yet and you don't know how she's going to perform, because how she performed as VP is not how she's going to perform as president. That's definitely something I feel very strongly. Because in the VP role, she was in the mud. And actually, when you're in the mud, you're not even visible. You're not visible. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Where are you? You're nowhere. But there's a strength of the lotus that rises through that. Very much in Joe Biden's shadow. We don't know, ultimately, whether she was held back from some of the things that she wanted to say, wanted to do as VP. At the end of the day, she wasn't the president, she was the VP. So coming into her power and opening up to that, it does feel as though there is a portal for healing. And I want to go back to what I said about Keir Starmer in the UK. It could be that if she's elected, some of the people that are fearing it most, a presidency with her, might very well be, actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be type energy. Plus, there are definitely people who were going to vote Republican who are already now starting to think, shall I, shan't I? The energy with Trump right now feels staler. That's what I'm picking up. It feels staler. But that's not to say that he can't pull it off. Remember the motor race. At the moment, I'm feeling, whatever the polls are saying, pretty even, I think, but it's feeling as though he's lagging slightly behind. He's losing power is what I'm hearing. So think of the car. The car is starting to lose power. It's like, put, you know, when it does a foot type noise. I don't know why I'm getting that. Anyway, let's not go there. I'm just feeling as though it's running out of power a little bit. But it could very well be that I'm seeing now him in the car, Trump's in the car on this motor race. And it's like he hasn't got the right sidekick. He hasn't chosen the right VP. Donald Trump, if you ever watch this, you need to get rid of him. Your VP pick is not right. He needs a strong woman beside him as VP. If he's going to get ahead of her. At the moment, she's ahead energetically. Her timeline is stronger. He needs to do something and do something quick to not lose further momentum, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so let's carry on with Kamala, though, to start with, and then we will get back to Trump. Now, what deck did I want to use for her? Let's pull a Sacred Destiny card. I did hear the word destiny. See what we're going to get with her. For her. So Kamala Harris, chances of winning the presidency in 2024, please. Kamala Harris, the chances of winning the presidency. We've got the energy of wisdom. Kamala Harris, chances of winning the 2024 USA election. Kamala Harris. One more card, please. Thank you. We've got two have come out. We've got focus and we've got forgiveness. And we've got wisdom. I feel as though it's saying, look at that, focus. With focus, does she ever wear, I know this is a bit of a daft thing to say, does she ever wear like, I know she wouldn't wear fur, but, you know, I'm seeing her in like a leopard skin type outfit, or I think her fashion choices can be quite bold, can't they? And I don't know whether she's worn this suit already or whether it's a suit to come, but it's like what I would call leopard skin type thing that you'd see more on like a rock star, like Rod Stewart or somebody like that. But I'm seeing that around her. But anyway, here we've got the energy of the is that meant to be a leopard? I think it's meant to be a leopard, but it's more that the summit is within reach if she keeps her focus. Now, if I had been advising Donald Trump after she, you know, well, she is, I think she is going to be the nominee. I know it has to go through the convention and everything, but I would have said to Donald, just zip it for a bit. Don't go on the personal attack. Because he had the momentum after the assassination attempt. He had the energy was with him. The wind was in his sails. And unfortunately, what he's done is he's gone straight for the jugular. He is attacking her personally. It's not the thing to do. She just needs to keep her dignity. Now, whether she can or not, I don't know. She might give us back as good as he gets, which isn't the thing. But she needs to be in this energy of reaching out the olive branch to the country and saying whatever has happened over the last 4 years, 8 years, however long it goes back, this is it's a bridge. It's an energy where we can come together and bring forgiveness to our land. But, wisdom dictates that she has to stay focused. So she has got wisdom. This is also a card about depth. Let's pull a couple of tarot cards on her. We're going to go to the Field Tarot, and then we'll get to Trump. The best guidance is for people in USA is to be the observer, to know that come November you have a chance to vote, and that is good. But to be the observer, to not be like that poor guy, in the car, just losing it. It's your life. I'll tell you what, having gone on holiday recently, when you're away on holiday, it's such a balancer, guys, because, all this news was breaking when I was out there. I can hand on heart say, I didn't hear a single person talking about any of it. It wasn't even on anybody's radar. People were just getting on with their life, enjoying their holiday, enjoying nice food, a bit of sun, knowing whatever country they'd come from, there were problems in their countries. I mean, God, we've got enough problems here in the UK as well. But you have to live your best life. You have to remember that you are sovereign and that you have the ability, whoever gets into power, to live a happy, healthy life. I really strongly believe that, okay? And also that we can get behind and manifest in the highest timeline for whoever wins. Okay, let's pull 3 cards for Kamala, please, with regards to her chances, with regards to becoming USA president. 3 cards, please, for Kamala. Her chances of becoming president. We've got the 8 of Cups, which is a card of retreat. Actually, the cards are all upside down. Okay, I was thinking, hold on, but they're all upside down. Okay, so we've got the 8 of Cups. Let me put it the right way round. That's not the best card, so let's just see what else we get. Sorry, these cards aren't shuffling well. Hold on, it just wants me to talk a bit more about this card. It's a blue moon. Now, is there a blue moon? Once in a blue moon, I'm hearing. Is there a blue moon before the election? Hold on, blue moon, USA, 2024. Why have we got the blue moon showing? Oh, sorry, I just understood the message. Okay, the next blue moon will occur on August the 19th, 2024. Okay, so there is one. So that's not far away then. Don't know, when is the whatever you call it, your convention, the Democratic Convention, is that around then? Democratic Convention 2024. Oh, is on the blue moon. Right. Okay, so the Democratic National Convention is on Monday the 19th of August to the 22nd of August. The 19th of August, there is a blue moon. This is a bit of an odd card to get. I will pull some more on it. If that blue to me is Democratic blue, okay? So it's less about her, even though I'm asking about her. It feels as if this is more about the party. Is it the other potential candidates that wanted to throw their hat into the ring retreating and getting behind her? Because many people were sort of speculating that, like, Michelle Obama's going to step up at the last minute, or Gavin Newsom is, or any of the others are. I don't know who they are. But I don't think they're going to. I might be wrong. I know Michelle and Barack have got behind her with that rather strange phone call. They haven't actually, I haven't physically seen them. Maybe they have come out on a TV show or something and said it. Clarification, please. Why have we got the Eight of Cups retreat? What is that about, please? Let me have one more card. Oh, right, that's just whizzed out. Three of Wands vision has just whizzed out. The Star upside down. I think that she's going to take the Democratic Party in a totally different direction. And I think it's the vision that somebody had within the Democratic Party is retreating, because we've got the Star in reverse. Somebody's dream, somebody's hope is retreating. I mean, maybe it's hers. Maybe something happens and she doesn't make it. But I'm not feeling that, because I'm feeling that she does make it to the November date. I'm wondering if this is the Obamas' energy, that it's their vision. They're having to retreat from their vision. Now, I know Michelle Obama said she doesn't want it in 1,000 years, but I know her husband wants her to do it. There's no doubt about that. There's definitely been fighting with the Obamas. Yeah, look at that, Seven of Wands. This is Michelle and Barack here. This is Michelle. It's like barricading. No, I'm not doing it. Yes, Princess of Wands, I thought so. You see, I've picked this up on holiday. One of the Obama's daughters, is it Malia? She's young at the moment. Young, doing what youngsters do. But I feel as though one of the Obama children may very well be somebody who throws their hat into the ring at a later juncture. So if Michelle doesn't now or ever, I feel as though one of the daughters is going to pick up the mantle of the Obama energy. But that is way into the future, okay? And I felt it was Malia. That's the one that I got. And I did actually look at her numerology. And I think she comes out as a 29. I might be wrong. I don't think I've got my notes here. But I do remember looking at that. So anyhow, so that feels as though this is all about the Obamas. This feels as though it's about the Obamas to me. So the convention, I feel as though they begrudge. I mean, don't get me wrong. If they're at the convention, they will be all smiles. Barack is a consummate professional in terms of putting on a good show. They will be behind her, but it's almost like there's a dagger behind them. You know, it's like it's Machiavellian. It's like I'm endorsing you, but I don't really want to endorse you, is what I'm feeling with those two. So it's like a false smile, because it's something to do with the dream that I don't feel as though she's going to toe the line. I don't feel she gets on with the Obamas, despite the fake smiles. There's something going on here. She feels more like her own woman. And I know how easily this video is going to get attacked, but you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what she's done already. She was hopeless at this. She was hopeless at that. I get it. But I just feel as though you haven't seen the measure of her yet. I feel as though her hands have been tied as VP. And I feel as though we're going to see her emerging as a star on the world stage. Okay, so that's the Obamas. I'm still going to try and pull some more cards for her, though, and ask the question again with regards to winning the presidency. I have to say at this juncture that I've got my screen there on my laptop has got two enormous purple crocuses in full bloom. It's now turned into red tulips. How funny. This is what I mean. It's so close. It's so close. The red tulips representing Trump. I mean the violet representing Kamala. Not because it's violet pill, just because I've chosen a picture of a violet lotus flower coming through the mud for her. Right. Kamala Harris. Chances of winning the presidency. I'm just going to ask for one card, actually. Come on. Spirit. Please be as clear as you possibly can. That one. We've got the Seven of Swords, deception. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. What's that one sticking out? We've got the Six of Swords, transition. Well, they're not great cards. But we've got the Princess of Discs manifestation. Sorry about that noise if you can hear it. It's a really hot day. I can't close my windows. Seven of Swords, deception, lies and manipulation, but there's something fated. Six of Swords, transition, moving away, manifestation. Well, we have got the fate card. I know I said I was only going to have one card, but that is the destiny card. There's definitely a fox out to get her. I don't think she's the fox. I really don't. I did just say someone has a dagger in their hand, metaphorically speaking, of course, not literally. There are people within the Democratic Party who want to take her down. And I think it's quite high up. And I don't think they're actually for her or behind her. I'm seeing Gavin Newsom's face now as well. I feel as though there are some in the Democratic Party who are quite surprised at her poll bounce and are not liking what they see. It's almost like it's becoming a bit of a runaway train. And it's like, can we actually get rid of her now? We were thinking we would be able to come 19th of August at that convention. It's not going to be so easy now. So, I don't know. Let's move on to Trump, guys. See if we can get any clearer with regards to him. So, Donald Trump. I haven't got all of his numerology to hand, I have to be honest. Let's just have a quick look at it. I will have done it before because I've read on Donald many times, but let's just have a quick look just to pay him the respect he deserves. And yes, he does deserve respect because he, whatever you believe him to be, he's a powerful soul on this planet. He's doing exactly what he's meant to be doing. And many people in USA love him. So for that alone, I would always respect him. Right, Donald Trump. He was born... Sorry, it's taking me straight to his website, actually. Not his age. I think is he 78? And I think this thing about staleness is actually coming more from age than anything. I mean, she does have age on her side. He's an older man, but equally, you know, I don't dislike Trump, actually. I really don't. I'm not saying I would vote for him. Not saying I'd vote for her either, but I don't dislike him. 78 years, 14th of June, 1946. So he's just after the war, baby. Yeah. Okay. Number 14 is the energy of communication. I mean, he's a good communicator. You've got to give him that. It's also linking into the Aquarian age. You know, he is a bridge into the Aquarian age just as much as she is, because on a dualistic planet, you need both. Let's just work out what his numerology is. 14th of June, 1946. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Oh, yeah, he's a 31-4. Yeah, I remember now. It's quite curious. I mean, 4 is obvious. 4 is the planet of Uranus. Expect the unexpected, always with him. It's the planet of change, revolution, evolution. It's very tower-like energy. That's what he's meant to be. It's what he's meant to do. He's meant to shake up the status quo. He's meant to shake up America, make it look at itself, etc. If you don't like it, change it, that type of thing. But 31 is the Hermit, which I've always been intrigued with by him. Yeah, he has got a quieter side to him. I've always said this. It's why he likes playing his golf. And he's got no boundaries, basically. 31 is also linked into boundaries. He hasn't got any boundaries in terms of he will say anything and whatever. It's just boundaryless, basically. Gets him into all sorts of trouble. The colours are dark green. Needs to know when to draw up the drawbridge, as it were. Interesting also, in light of the assassination attempt on him, boundaries is also linked into security. So he needs more of a ring of steel around him to protect him so that nothing befalls him. What else is there to say about that Hermit energy? I mean, dependent whether you love him or... Sorry, my battery died on my phone. What was I saying? About boundaries. Yeah. Oh, the Hermit. So 31 is the Hermit. So yes, whether you like him or you don't like him, You either think that he is somebody who is a deep thinker and who does go within and, listen to his own counsel, listen to his guides, or you think he's somebody that is the opposite of that and doesn't do any of it. So however you interpret the hermit for him is your own personal interpretation. I will pull a card for him with regards to the guides around him, because I've said Kuan Yin with Kamala, but let's have a look at Trump. Now, I did pick out Archangel Michael for Donald Trump. I think that is an accurate one. So let me just spray that. So Archangel Michael for Trump, but I'm also going to just pull a card from Keepers of the Light for him. Let's see who else he has around him at this time. Steering him, shielding him, helping him, supporting him. White Eagle, interesting. White Eagle, ancestor spirit, connect to your lineage. It says a family wound or pattern can be healed now. Whatever you think about him, he loves his family. We have White Eagle for Trump. Some people might be surprised by that. Some people might not, but that's who we've got. Let's pull some cards for him now. I'm going to go to the Starman Tarot. Oh no, actually before that, let's do the Wisdom. Let's do the Sacred Destiny deck for him as well. So Donald Trump. So as of today, let's have a look at him. Okay, Donald Trump, 30th of July as I'm pulling this. Let's have a look how you're doing. What does Spirit want to say first with regards to Donald Trump? We have the energy of embracing. Interesting, we've got solitude on the bottom of the deck. And then we've got leadership. I was just talking to you about the hermit. Does he go inward and reflect enough? I think probably not. And now we've got embrace solitude and leadership. You know those cards for Kamala, which were she needs to just keep focused and she needs to remember her wisdom and she needs to hold this banner for leading forgiveness. What Trump needs to just shut up for a bit. Sorry, I'm not meaning to be rude. Literally, if he was here, I would say it to his face, and he probably wouldn't like it, I realise. But he just needs to just stop it. Just stop and go within and find the best thing to say, to lead, to win over, to cajole, to keep, to maintain. It's like his energy at the moment, he's firing off on all cylinders in every single direction. And it might also, might have a bit of shock aspect as well with regards to that assassination attempt recently. He hasn't really taken a lot of time to take stock. He needs that. You need that, Donald. Just stop for a moment. Go somewhere. Go on your own. I mean, you can go with your family, but all your advisors, just park them for a moment. JD Vance, stop listening to him. Just go within. What is it that you need for this next part of your journey to become the leader that you are? Whether you like him or not, he's a leader. Is he a potential leader for 2024? Yes, of course he is. But can he do it? He can do it better if he's able to go within. He has to embrace solitude. He has to embrace and listen to that inner voice, not anybody else's voice. I feel as though that VP pick, it happened quite soon after the shooting, didn't it? I don't think he was in his right mind. By that, I don't mean he'd lost his mind. I just mean that he wasn't thinking straight in the way that he has up to this point in time. From his perspective, he's thinking straight. No, it was an odd one, that. Shall I pull a card for Vance? Let's do that. JD Vance. I think Donald Trump saw in JD Vance something of his younger self, and I think it interfered with his ability to see who he actually was. And by that, I'm talking more about physique. It felt a bit like there was something Trump said when he picked him in terms of, isn't he a handsome son of a gun or something like that? And it's sort of the thing that a father might say to a son, it's like seeing your reflection of yourself in a younger version. I've got young daughters, just been on holiday. You see a younger version of yourself in your daughters, and I'm sure it's the same with fathers and sons. Felt a bit like that, really, but it wasn't analytically as clear as he usually is with regards to his decisions. Let's pull a card on J.D. Vance. I'm hearing snake in the grass. Prince of Wands and Seven of Discs. J.D. Vance sees himself as a future leader. Now, whether there's any, engine behind that is a completely different matter. At the moment, he's the prince, not the king. But with perseverance and working my way up through the ranks, I will no longer be left out in the cold. 5 of Pentacles. But we've got 3 of Swords, ends in sorrow, and the Tower. And then he too has the Hermit, interestingly. 6 of Cups, innocence in upside down position. Yeah, I just don't know. I'm not feeling it for him, I have to be honest. Anyway, let's go back to Trump and let's use a different deck. I'm going to use the Starman Tarot for Donald Trump. So Donald Trump's chances of winning the USA presidency. Right, there's one card just flown out. It's the Empress with the 2 of Wands. Yeah, he needs a woman. He needs a woman beside him. Not Melania, respectfully, she's great, but no, I'm talking about VP. He needs a female VP, and he needs it fast. And I tell you what, Trump has galactic help as well. He's got a galactic guide. He's very Syrian, Trump, So his guides, his galactic guides, are trying to get through to him that for you to win, 2 of Wands, for you to have your vision to be successful, you need an Empress, because you are now battling with an Empress, which is Momala. It's like Kamala. It's like, you're fighting Momala. You've got to get a female presence in there quick. Definitely. Anyway, assuming he does. Well, no, not assuming he does. Let's just pull the cards. Can he win? The Emperor. Well, we've got the High Priestess upside down. The Emperor and the Emperor and the Empress together are pretty unstoppable. This is what I mean about the motor race. Say, for example, Kamala picks a weak VP. I haven't heard a lot of the people that are being touted, I have to be honest, but I'm sure they're popular in your country. But if she picks a weak VP and then she says a few things that people really don't like, she can start to lag behind again. Trump comes back into the race with a stronger VP. He can still win it. He can still win it. High Priestess upside down on the bottom of the deck. I think this is saying, again, he's not listening. He's not listening to higher guidance here. He is not listening to higher guidance. So, in summary, Donald, you need a female VP. You need her fast. Get rid of J.D. Vance. Start going within, start spending more time on your own. Trump's not a yes man. He doesn't like people that are yes men around him. I don't think he does. If they are around him, get rid of them. Go back to your roots is what I want to say to him. Go back to your roots. Remember what made you who you are. He has got a strength of character. He is strong. He is powerful. He's lost his way a bit. But as I say, I'm just reading this today. Tomorrow it might be different. I don't know. Let's pull a card from this deck for Trump. Okay, so he's got dragon energy around him. He's got a card of healing as well. Isn't it interesting? This is what I mean about observe. Observe. Yes, you have a vote. Make your vote. But please realise that this is all up for grabs. And whoever eventually wins, there is definitely a healing energy coming into USA. Thank God. It feels as though with Trump, it's coming in via the dragons. With the dragons. Yeah. What is that? Oh, it's an oh, it's two eagles. You might not be able to see the card. It's quite small. I can hardly see it, and I'm sitting here. It shows two eagles. Well, that's interesting because I've been talking a lot about this dead bird, which is the political system. Here we've got two eagles in the eye of the storm. We have dragons. We have the Kuan Yin energy. We have Archangel Michael. We have White Eagle. I'm going to do something else now. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to finish this video with looking at the wild card. I want to look at the wild card timeline, which might be something we can't even see yet, okay? It could be something completely different, or it could be one of these two. I'm just going to pull a couple of cards on the wild card energy, wild card timeline, USA, November 2024 election, wild card energy. We've got the Empress. Is that the female vote that will swing it? Obstacles. Star potential. The female vote is going to be very important. Watch how women vote. And although I haven't talked about it in this video because I know it's a very contentious subject in USA, it's not contentious in my country, but the whole thing with regards to abortion, women's rights, a woman's right to choose. I'm in the UK. I'm completely for a woman's right to choose. It's not even a discussion that we have in this country. Do there have to be limits on the number of weeks? Yes. But again, can that be renegotiated? Yes. Look at other countries. Look at what other countries do. It's become very black and white in USA with regards to this particular subject. But it feels as though the female vote, standing up for women's rights, is going to be pivotal. It's the wild card energy. How these two play it probably dictates who eventually wins. Let's just do 3 more cards from another deck. Wild card timeline. Wild card timeline. USA election. Journey. Nature. That reminds me of RFK. Balance. So we've all grandfather moon. Now we've also got the energy of the environment coming in. I don't know what the environmental policies are of either of them. if one is more environmentally minded with regards to looking after the planet, I'm just going to put it that way, that can also be a deciding factor for some people. Yes, I hear people say it's the economy, stupid, but the economy, of course, is almost like a given, that has to be handled well. Fiscal responsibility, whoever's in power. But the environment is showing here as an unknown or an unseen factor for some. Maybe the younger generation in particular, actually. The young vote linked into the environment. So again, whoever has got a greener ticket or who teams up with somebody who is green. I haven't looked at RFK Jr. in this video. I will look at him again because I feel as though, he's in the race as well. Where was it? Last night I saw RFK, this was RFK's own post on Instagram. He said, these are his words, "We've got this, 34 down and only 17 to go." He's talking about today signifies a giant leap and monumental achievement in the Kennedy campaign for ballot access operation, with enough signatures now collected in 34 states. He's like a blinking machine. I have to say, RFK is the one I like the most of all of them. And I've said that before, so just laying my cards on the table here. Shall I pull a couple of cards for RFK? I'd like to go back and do a proper video with him, though, because I know this video is getting long. And if it's too long, people don't watch. Let's just pull a card from the Wild Destiny card for Robert. You see, I think Robert appeals to women, I have to say. I hate to be so shallow, but there is something in those twinkly eyes. Works for me anyway. not that I would just vote for him because he's good looking, but... Oh, I'm going all flushed. No, I'm being those bloody eyes while I'm going flush. No, he is. That is a factor, actually. I mean, you might not like it. It is a factor. People do vote for people that they find attractive as well. That is something. That is something. That is a something. Right, come on, get serious, Amanda. RFK. Let's have a card for Robert, please. He's definitely going to be a force going forward in the in the future. He's got the card of pleasure. I mean, he is all about that, really, I suppose. We've got the card of success. Well, that's interesting. And community. I love those cards for him. He's actually having the most fun of everybody on the trail at the moment. This card of pleasure. He's trying to get through the gateway, okay, the gates, the number, whatever it is. No, it's not number 10, that's our country. The White House gates, but he's having more fun doing so. It's got the deer. What did I tell you about the female vote? The deer, very feminine sign, the deer energy. He's about community. He's about community. The rainbow energy as well. Is very prevalent with him. Yeah, community, rainbow, bringing people together, success. He has got the card of success. Now, is he going to be the future president? Probably not, no. I mean, don't rule him out, though, I want to say. But he's definitely got success in the future. Of that, there is no doubt. And power. He's going to be very, very powerful. I feel as though, again, the administration that woos him will be benefited by his grace and guidance and wisdom, and the fact that he is so knowledgeable about so many different things. You see, I've always liked a man with intelligence, I have to say. So the intelligence thing, that is enough for me. He's just bloody intelligent. He can debate the arse off anybody. And yeah, that's what I think. Let's pull some cards for him. Let's go with Starman. And then I'm going to go and do some other stuff. We've got the Ace of Cups for Robert with the Tower and the Star. Wow, really? And the Queen of Wands. Yeah, the female vote again. Right, Ace of Cups, there's a lot of love for him. There's a lot of love for him. Does he bring in some sort of tower energy? Star, the star energy, that is the card of hopes, dreams. Can he do it? What's that song? Can he do it? Yes, he can. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Who did that song? It's a great song. Ace of Cups. Look what's underneath the Ace of Cups, everybody. The lotus flower. Hello. Does Kamala invite him in? Does she see that he might have something to offer? I mean, he's not going to be her VP, is he? Is he? Doubtful, probably, but there is a timeline where he is. Wouldn't that be exciting? I'd love that. To be honest, that would just wrap it up, really. But no, probably doubtful. But he's there. He's there, and he's there right underneath she's there right underneath his cup, and the tower and the star. Let's go to my original tarot deck, the one that I always use, my after tarot, because I'm a bit confused by these cards, I have to be honest. It certainly shows potentiality, that's for sure. It shows success. Got the Nine of Wands just flipped out. Seven of Swords on the back of the card, or back of the deck. Yeah, I mean, people want to trip this guy up. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, he's used to that. He's a Kennedy. He knows where the bodies are buried. Let's put it that way. Six of Wands. He's got the card of victory with the Queen of Swords. Three of Cups. Celebration. He's got good cards. Good cards. Eight of Pentacles. Hard work. Six of Pentacles. Giving and receiving. Justice. He's a lawyer, isn't he? Don't write him off. These people that sort of feel he's completely inconsequential, you just wait. You know, even if he doesn't make it to be president, he's going to be around for a long time, and his voice is going to become more and more heard. And isn't it interesting, actually? I want to say something about the voice. That's interesting. This is just an observation. It's not a judgment. It's not calling out people who've got problems with their voices, because we've all got problems with something. And it's what makes us us. It's what makes us unique. But we're coming from Joe Biden, who has had a very pronounced stutter his whole life. And the one thing I've always respected about Joe Biden is the fact that he's got up there with that speech impediment and risen to the position he rose to. I know somebody with a stutter, and you know, it can be very debilitating. It's a very under talked about thing. Anyway, I respect that about Biden, that he's made it as far as he's been able to make it with that. Kamala, she doesn't have a stutter, but a lot of people talk about word salad with her. I can be a bit like that as well, saying the wrong word in the wrong place, but I think she's worse than me. Very confusing, very jumbled. It's about speech again. And then we've got Robert, bless him, who has this very pronounced problem with his voice. It's an injury to his voice, his larynx, his throat box. So all three, and there's this thing about voice. If you think about that, are they representing something back to us, that we're not being heard, that we're not communicating what we want? We're so into the division of let's keep them out, we hate them, we don't want that side of the bird in, that we're not listening to each other. Because another aspect of communication is listening. It's not just about talking, it's listening to each other. So I find it very, very symbolic, actually, that we've got three very powerful leaders in the USA, all with speech issues. But again, also impressive that it hasn't stopped any of them from reaching the top. There's something in that that's very admirable. Very admirable. And I think on that note, I'd like to leave this video actually, because it feels like it's quite a unifying message. And I will come back to it in a few months' time. Maybe after the Democratic convention, when she probably is going to be sworn in as the official nominee. We'll see how Trump fares over the next month. But please remember, if you've taken anything from this video, the racing car analogy that Metatron gave us, who's going to be going into the pit stops for unexpected problems with the tyres? Who's going to be lagging behind but might just find the right bend, the right corner, and be able just to clinch the race at the last minute? People don't like the fact that there are these loose timelines because we like to feel as though we're in control. Let me tell you, my friends, we're in a planet which is spinning. God knows how many hours, we're spinning in just this mass of consciousness, one tiny planet. We like to think we're in control. We're really not. You have to let go of control. You have to become the observer. You take part, you do your best, but the energy of unity and bridge is the most important thing. Thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed it, taken something away from it, please give me a like, because it will get it out there to people that are like that poor lad in the car, pretty much self-harming because his hero has fallen. There will always be new heroes that come up, and there will also always be people that are not quite as bad as you think they're going to be, and that take you by surprise. Hats off to Keir Starmer for not wearing the bloody poncho. Take care, guys. I'll be back soon. I've got about 1,000 loads of laundry to do now, having just got back from holiday and shopping and all of that type of stuff. But it's good because it's grounding. Keep grounded, keep real, keep sane, and keep flowing through all of these unexpected curveballs, changes, people, and energies. Lots of love. Bye for now. Bye.